Greetings and gratitude to all light forms and life workers who have found this musical edition of the Cosmic Tarot and question and answer with a musician known as Dimleffall. We have live sounds. Give it some time for people to show up. Hello, musician. You want to introduce yourself, friend?
Hello. I'm Dimleffall. Yeah, I play music sometimes. And yeah, that's it.
Hello, people. Let's have people come through. So, kind bard, what message would you like 1 through 22?
18.
You chose the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by professional medium John Holland, and your message is to let go and move on. Move on from the way things were before. Move on and follow those footprints in the sand. Keep walking, know that the tide will come and the tide will leave. The shells will grow and the flies will always gravitate to the seaweed. Move on, continue down your path, and know that you will always be guided by the shore. Hear the songs of the seagulls echo you forward on your continued path. Move on from who you were in 2020 to be who you need to be in 2021.
Thank you.
Yes, friend. So, anyone here, please, if you would like a message 1 through 22, and if you would like a specific musician or music-related question, we have a special guest. Do you have any knowledge of when you started being compelled to music?
When I was like 13 or 14, I just got moved by like some people playing music like in my junior high school, and they were playing like in the drama area. It was like a Nirvana cover band or something. And
Nice.
But that was like when I first started wanting to actually play music. I've always loved music since I was a little kid, obviously, like most people. Like my dad playing like Bruce Springsteen and like Bob Seger. And thank you, Pegasus.
So,
And,
you and me like the kind of historical music, the lyre, the original flutes, the more kind of archaic forms of music. Do you want to talk about how that inspires you? The history of music.
Yeah. Like I did a lot of research. Maybe started doing real in-depth research into what music is, how it began, and looking into like Pythagoras and things like that, the way that the scale is created. You see, like there's like these metal tangs on the guitar.
Yeah, and how certain sounds produce chemicals in the brain.
Sure. And I was really just interested in like how it makes such melodious tones, and like what a chord is, and like what is an octave, and like things like that, and just like what is that,
Yeah, and then the echo of the waveform, and then the silence between is all beautiful, like a photo.
Yeah. And so basically, like, and so I did a lot of research into that, and I learned all about the Pythagoreans and how they how Pythagoras like went to Egypt and like learned a lot of the ways of them, and then came back to Greece and applied a lot of the knowledge from them to his studies and to his religion. And so basically they created, you know, the scale, the modern scale, like learning like how the string is like one long string. You see, like that note is like the lowest note, and then if you cut that string in half, it's the same note but higher. So
Yeah.
So that's the beginning of like dividing the string up. And so over the course of time, they found other intervals, is what it's called. So that's like the space in between the tones is called an interval. So you have like that, and then you have that between that note and that note. That space in between is an interval. So just trying to figure out like how to do that. And just moving those sounds around and then dividing it further and finding like the major thirds and whatnot and minor thirds. Like that's a different interval. And so learning that, I learned all about different scales and all of different tunings, like how to tune an instrument differently. And yeah, just apply that, and just that's the technical way to do it. That's like the technical aspect of it, but it just like flows out of me. Like I can't really describe
your art.
Yeah, I can't really describe the art like technically. It just kind of flows out of me. So I don't know if that answers anything. That's all.
We were in the deep cosmic void. Now we come back, audience, now or in the future. Thank you for being here, everyone. Back in the ancient days, gathered around the fire, the community would share in wine and bread as the storytellers and the musicians would entertain the masses. Their emotions, their ears, their eyes, and their souls would be open to the ancients' entertainment of community. Thank you for experiencing that, wherever you may be, whenever it may be. If you were here, Pegasus, do you want a message or do you have any music questions? And my question for you, friend Bard, what is the difference between electric and acoustic?
Okay, that's a good question. So this is an acoustic guitar. It has a large body, and the strings go all the way down and into the body. And then this whole chamber acts as like an amplifier or like an acoustic resonator. So like all of the strings resonate inside this body, and it has this hole here, and the hole pushes the sound out. So that's an acoustic instrument because there's nothing, it's not plugged into anything, it's just sitting here. And then an electric instrument is I could go get one actually. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Thank you all. We're receiving some interspace feedback. Thank you for staying with us. Universe, we're having some interspace feedback. Thank you for your patience. Understand that this is a broadcast happening throughout time and space, so it is very primitive and very high tech at the same time.
So, and this is an electric instrument. It still has strings like an acoustic, but it has these things here that pick up the magnetic vibrations of the strings, and they transform that magnetic vibration energy into electrical impulses. And so this is a jack. There's no audio coming out of this. What's coming out of this is an electric signal, and there's no actual audio sound coming through here. It's just a very small electric audio signal. Well, not audio, but an electric signal, like just electrons moving through here through a cable being picked. So it's picked up by the pickups. They're called pickups. And a magnet comes through this jack through a cable, and then that cable goes to an amplifier, which translates that electric signal into what we perceive as sound.
And then whether or not that sound is pleasing is a personal taste.
Oh yeah, you can amplify anything.
And then you can modulate it too, right?
Yeah, there's things called effect pedals, or like any kind of effects. They have them in a computer. They have them digital. They have them in a box so you can plug in. So you could plug in the cable and from here into the effect pedal, and then out of the effect pedal into the amplifier. You can do that too. And so that would be.
Yeah. I know with any instrument that a player, the longer you play, there's certain tricks you can do that a new player can't, like through muscle memory and skill at an instrument. Do you want to share any of your advanced guitar tricks to the audience?
I don't know. I just kind of it just becomes second nature. I've been playing.
It's like an extension to yourself.
Yeah, like this is another arm. Like this isn't foreign to me at all. Let's see. I've been playing guitar specifically since like I want to say 1997, 96, something like that. So like 24 years, 25, 23, something like that. I don't know the exact year I got my first guitar, but I very quickly got into other instruments too. So like the first thing I ever learned was like trumpet. That was in like 8th grade, and then
do you still play?
I haven't played a trumpet in many years, but that was.
I love ska music, so guitar and trumpet and drums together are my favorite.
Yeah. And then when I was.
And then from trumpet, what? How did you get to the guitar?
Well, I
was just seeing those people playing it. Yeah.
Well, I got a guitar. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I think it was around the same time that I started playing trumpet. So it was all together at the same time. And then when I went to high school, first I started off in the band, the concert band, and I didn't need a trumpet player, so I switched over to another instrument that's similar to a trumpet. It has the same keys and the same fingerings on it, and you still like buzz your lips into it like a trumpet, but it's basically a type of French horn, but it's not like the round French horn that everybody knows. It was called a mellophone, and it basically looks like a trumpet, but it has a bigger horn in the front of it, and it's a different tone, and it's an F instead of B flat like a trumpet. But so I did that for the first year, and then quickly, my sophomore year, I just went straight to the French horn, and that took a little while to learn, but I picked it up and I played that for the rest of high school while playing guitar too, and then so it was like French horn and guitar, and I think I played trumpet and jazz band a little bit. I don't remember. And this whole time, I never really learned how to play piano, but I would just kind of tinkle on the keys, just make some sound. But I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I played in many bands throughout that time. And then after high school, I played in bands. And then I basically stopped playing guitar 100% and dedicated 100% of my time to piano. So when I was like 20, I just kept playing piano for years and years, hours a day, basically. And also singing. I tried to learn how to sing. I don't have a very good singing voice, but it was something. It was something musical that I was able to do, and teach other people how to better sing and to develop their voices. And so that was about 8 years of just playing piano and kind of off the radar. Like I didn't record anything. I didn't really do anything except just play like kind of for myself and for my like really small group of people I was with at the time. And then after that, I moved back to the Bay Area and got another guitar, and just I've been playing ever since. It's been about 8 years. So that's kind of my story of how I got into music and what I've been doing.
It sounds like a bard's tale to me.
Yeah, I haven't even begun to discuss. Hold on. This.
Yeah, this is my favorite part.
So this is called a synthesizer.
This is where we start getting cosmic, friends.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Because the guitar has been around for probably more than 100 years.
And it's based on even older instruments.
Yeah, there's been a lot, like a lute or like a kithara even, which goes back thousands of years and things like that.
And one made with like turtle shells and stuff like that.
Yeah, and things like that. There's a lot of also like interesting Middle Eastern stringed instruments, like the oud. It's and things like that, where it's just a very thin, like you can see on this guitar. There's like this neck. This is called the neck, and it has 6 strings. Typically, some of them have different 4, 5, or 7, whatever. But then like the oud is it has like 3 or 4 or something, and it's this very thin little neck, and it's made out of a gourd. It's like a hollowed out gourd, and you put and it's made out of gut, like the gut of like a cat or something. The strings are, and so you tie it across. I don't know if the oud is made specifically this way, but some stringed instruments are made this way. It might have steel strings. I don't remember, but yeah, it's made out of like a gourd, so it's like not very big. The body of the instrument's not very big, and it's just you play it like this, and it's very small, and it's just so tender. Anyway, back to this. So this is called a synthesizer. This is a very specific type of synthesizer. It's completely modular. So each part, there are many different pieces. There's like a case. You just buy just the case, and then each individual piece you buy separate, and you connect it into the case, and they're not connected in the back in any way. So right now it would not make any sound. It's impossible. But you connect it through wires. There's a lot of like input and output.
Those are the ones behind you, correct?
This one, yeah, with all the flashing lights.
Yeah.
There's like input and output jacks. So you just plug a wire into it, and then you plug the wire into something else, and you do a bunch of mixing and matching. And
could that wire be plugged into the guitar?
It's possible. Yeah.
And what type of sound, like, is there? Do you ever do experiments like that?
I've done that a little bit. Um, it's kind of hard because, like, the acoustic or the electric guitar here, it has a quarter-inch output jack, and the synthesizer has 1/8-inch cables. So, I mean, you could just get an adapter and plug it in, but you also have to get a special module that brings, because the signal that comes out of the guitar is very low, right? And so you have to boost that signal very much in order for the modular synthesizer to hear it well.
Oh
Otherwise,
yeah.
you have to really crank it, like the volume, and it could distort and not sound very good. So you have to get a special module to bring the signal up, which I have one, but I'd have to like take stuff out and then put that in. And so I could do it, but I just generally play on just the modular by itself. Or I can record a guitar part into the computer and then put that on like a flash drive or something and put that into the modular. So it's pre-recorded, but I can mess with it.
Oh, that's cool. And I know on your Bandcamp you do some sound experiments where they're more abstract sounds, not so much songs as much as just collections of sound. Do you want to talk about some of those projects?
Sure. Oh, we got another question from Pegasus. He can't type too much because he's on the road, but he's listening. Please drive carefully. No, don't text and drive if you can avoid it. Please, for your safety and others. My question is, what is your favorite styles of music to play? Well, um, I play almost everything. I mean, I've been playing music for 24, 25 years, so I've played punk music when I was a kid. I play like in another band. It's like a metal band. I play in
You do
another band.
soundscape.
Yeah, I mean, for like if I'm playing in a band, it's gonna be like more song based music. Whereas it's kind of a weird thing to say, but if I'm just playing by myself, like with the modular synthesizer, it's kind of like experimentation. It's just sound design. It's sounds that I'm just trying to make new sounds that have never been heard before, or sometimes I'll like focus in and make a song. I'll like work on it and I'll record. I'll like set up the thing so it sounds the way I want it to sound, and then I'll hit record and I'll kind of improvise or like play something that I've already thought up into the computer to record it, and then I'll kind of edit it and make it sound better in the computer. So I don't really have a favorite style of music, and like ambient, experimental. That's what the modular makes generally. It can do other things. It can make like super heavy, like metal sounds, like distorted guitar type sounds and things like that. It can make drums. If you've ever heard like the Doom soundtrack, the game, that
Yeah.
Mick Gordon was the composer for, it can do that kind of stuff. But I like to do generally like more mellow, ambient, calm, relaxing style things on the thing.
Well, one of your most recent releases, "The Beautiful Human Being," I'm a big fan of.
Thank you. Yeah, that was
I,
one where I put guitar into the synthesizer.
yes, that's why I mentioned it, because that was something about it that was out of this world. Like, that's something that they would totally call something for music for humans.
Yeah.
Can you? That would be played on the human radio station.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
I love your ideas when it comes to titles and images for your music. Do you want to talk about how those?
sure. A lot of the titles of the songs are influenced by the music. So I just like sometimes I'll just go and just start making sound with no direction, and then something will come up and I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Record it, make it into a track, and then based off of the way it makes me feel or the way it sounds, I'll make up a track name for it. Or if it reminds me of like a movie or something, I'll find a quote from that movie and that'll be the name of it. Or it'll remind me of another song. Like there's one song that I made that isn't released. It's called Can't Start a Fire Without a Spark. And it's based that title is like a Bruce Springsteen song. So it's called yeah. So I'll let people find that on their own if they want. It's kind of like a secret what track it is, but and then yeah, I mean other tracks like we'll have a background sample from a movie or something out of copyright or something, and I'll just use that, or I'll find like an interview somewhere on some website if it doesn't have a copyright, and then I'll just edit that or like put the sample itself through the modular and record it again, so that we'll have the original track and then the sample synthesized track, and then just edit it and make it in the computer. So those are some ways that I come up with titles, and some ways that I come up with ideas for how to make tracks. Did you have any other questions?
So no, I think that's good. So the audio kind of getting distorted, and some of your words were blurred together for people in the future, so they might not have heard everything you said. But
That's
I
funny.
hope enough.
This is going to be an interesting video to rewatch, for sure. We're having a lot of cosmic like radiation or interference or something. Or maybe there's ghosts that have infiltrated the stream. So yeah, this is pretty fun.
Hello.
Well, are you back?
Yes. Okay. I don't know how long it will last. The internet is unstable. Do you want to end with some unstable sounds?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Do you want to start synthesizing?
Oh, I don't think I can. I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to figure it out. I'd have to like put the microphone. It might feed back. I don't have that set up right now because I'd have to turn on some
well,
stuff.
Then you will definitely come back once we get the kinks works out, and we will totally do that. And
yeah, there's some software stuff that I have to figure out how to stream music live from the synthesizer and put it through the chain and then put it into the computer. But next time, for sure. Next time would be awesome just to do like a live stream where I'm like playing music and you're doing your show. That'd be cool.
Okay, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you and all of your flashing lights and beautiful sounds. And I hope to have you featured on this interview again. And I will always continue to use your music because it amplifies my ability when I'm doing the readings. It helps me the right words to say, and it helps me get into the right frequency to be giving service.
Cool. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate everything that you do, like with your shout outs and
broadcast.
And your channel is just fun and great. So thank you.
Yeah, man. The aliens 1,000 years from now are gonna be like, man, that's one trippy ass video. Because there's a lot that was like I'm getting a lot of interference, and it's
Dude, there's some ghosts happening or something, or like cosmic interference. But I'm excited to see what this looks like after we're done, and just I'm gonna rewatch it and see what happened, what it looked like, because it could be terrible, it could be good. Okay, I think I'm back on. Excuse me. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go. So thank you very much, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, goodbye.